Am I the asshole for serving my guests disgusting food? I was at the butcher looking for some cheap meat to use for tacos at my housewarming party. My wife got me a kick-ass new smoker and I wanted to try it out. The butcher mentioned that he had some beef tongue and beef cheeks. I went weak in the knees. I love those cuts of beef. So much flavor. And proper barbacoa is made from that. So I picked it up. I prepared it the way I was taught by my grandfather. It was awesome. Smoking it makes it so tender. I made tortillas from scratch as well. We had our party and everyone enjoyed the food. Until my wife's brother's girlfriend asked for the recipe. I declined because it was my family recipe and I don't like to give away recipes. I have in the past and I end up getting crapped on because it doesn't taste as good and I must have sabotaged them on purpose. No, Madison, I didn't sabotage you. You used cinnamon powder in your chili instead of a couple of cinnamon sticks like I said. My wife told me to please play nice and share. So I wrote out the recipe for the girl. She immediately starts dry heaving like she is going to hurl. My brother-in-law comes over to see what's going on. She screams that I served dog food for supper. So everyone starts asking what she means and she starts waving the recipe around and saying that beef cheeks and tongues are what she buys for dog snacks. No one else complains. They all say she is being ridiculous and that the meal was great. She is left there crying and being comforted by my brother-in-law. Now she is flaming me on Facebook, calling me names and saying that just because I ate peasant food growing up is no reason to feed it to others. I feel kind of guilty because I thought I was doing a nice thing making authentic food. But I guess I might be an asshole for serving cuts of meat that Americans don't think is fit for human consumption? Not the asshole. Repeat this until it takes hold. I am not responsible for others' lack of Epicurean taste. Beef cheeks are literally a delicacy. Tongue, while not specifically a delicacy, has good flavor and a unique, but not gross, texture. It isn't like you fed them tripe. Thankfully, most of them acknowledge that it tasted amazing. You don't need the one idiot in your life. Peasant food makes me laugh. I love oxtail, but I can't afford it anymore because the foodies have discovered it. Not the asshole. I'll admit that vegetarian. I'm actually a bit surprised that people eat tongue and cheeks, but calling it peasant or dog food when everyone, including her, enjoyed it seems needlessly entitled. Just because I ate peasant food growing up is no reason to feed it to others. This is such a weird thing to say. Where is she from? What's the socioeconomic makeup of this group of people? Am I the asshole for not moving out of my table at a restaurant so a couple could have their wedding shoot? I'll make this short. I was having dinner with my best friend in a very popular restaurant in our city. It's one of those pink, full of flowers restaurants, those aesthetic ones. While we were sitting there dining and minding our business, a couple dressed as bride and groom comes in. They were having their day after photo shoot around downtown apparently, and also stopped at the restaurant to take pics because of the aesthetic. Now I didn't particularly mind their presence. They did their thing. When I started getting annoyed though was when the photographer asked us to move seats for around 15 minutes so he could photograph the couple at the booth we were sitting because it's one of the most famous parts of the restaurant. We kindly declined as we were already dining, having a table full of meals. Plus the restaurant was packed so only a couple of really small tables were empty for us to sit. The photographer kept insisting that we should pause for a while and do this favor to the newlyweds. We kept declining. Then the couple stepped in and both of us started begging us and how special it is that they take pictures there. My friend and I said we understand it might be special, but this is a restaurant, they don't own the restaurant and can't just have people move seats just like that. The groom ended up yelling and asking for the manager to step in and move us. The manager declined since we was not getting any share for having the restaurant used as a photoshoot place, and also defended us by saying that he won't move paying customers so that the couple can occupy the place for free. The bride was tearing up and said how we are heartless for ruining this for her and making her upset one day after her wedding. They eventually left. My friend and I felt no shame for what we did, but when we told our other friends they said we lacked compassion and it was just a nice gesture we should have done to make someone happy. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. Interrupt an expensive meal for 15 minutes? Did they offer to buy your meal? Talk about entitled. They should have made a reservation and paid the manager, restaurant a fee. Not the asshole. They could easily have booked the table or made arrangements with the restaurant if it was that important to them. Not the asshole, and you absolutely did the right thing standing your ground and not moving. The manager did the right thing also. If the bride and groom wanted photos in the restaurant that badly, they should have made plans to do so. Arranged with management prior to just rocking up and expecting everyone to accommodate them. Not the asshole. It is not your fault they didn't bother making a reservation for at least a cup of tea in the booth. Just because they are newlyweds doesn't mean the world owes them anything. Not the asshole, they should have called and made a reservation or checked with management first. Am I the asshole for putting my pregnant wife ahead of my mom when it is my mom's birthday? My wife is currently 7 months pregnant and has been having a rough pregnancy. She is also pretty emotional right now, which is as to be expected. My mom has a birthday coming up and I wanted to take her to dinner. My mom loves seafood and picked a restaurant which is about 40 minutes away. My wife is uncomfortable being in the car for long stretches of time, and there isn't much on the menu she could eat as she can't have shellfish. I explained this to my mom and she said my wife can stay home. I told her my wife is particularly sensitive right now and that would make her feel bad. My mom got annoyed and asked if she really had to pick something else because a grown woman couldn't be left home alone. I told her pregnancy isn't forever and please just work with us. She said to forget it. She wants seafood and all of the Goo seafood restaurants are that far away. I asked her to pick another type of cuisine though. She loves Mexican and we hibachi, both of which we have local, but she yelled at me that her birthday isn't about my wife. I accused her of being selfish and childish and said my wife comes first, so she hung up. Now everyone is telling me that I am an asshole, and my wife is in tears as the whole family is mad at her. Not the asshole, and I'm glad you are making a stand when it comes to your pregnant wife. I'm sorry to say that your mum sounds awful. Does she often behave like this when it comes to your wife? You are the asshole. 40 minutes is not really a long drive, and your wife can either have fish, not shellfish, something else, or stay home for a few hours. Usually when you're treating someone for their birthday, you do something that they want to do. Your mother is not out of line here, she could have been kinder, but you told her you were treating her for dinner, asked her to pick a restaurant, and then tried to make her change her birthday treat to suit your wife. Pregnancy is not a free pass to behave badly, for either you or your wife. Would I be the asshole to ask someone to return a baby gift I want a more expensive version of? I am having my first child in a couple of weeks and my in-laws asked what I was missing to buy for the baby. I sent a link to a playpen that I wanted to get for the baby, which is $125 on sale from $180. It is the color I want, with music and vibration features. It has multiple pockets and a big space for Pampers bottles etc. Plus it has near perfect reviews. Yesterday my SIL showed me the one they got me, which is $90 but in a color I don't like, with a smaller area to put baby things and no outside pocket. It was like they didn't put in the effort to order the one I wanted and ordered the first one they saw at Target. Personally I feel awkward with these things and just said thank you and it's cute, but I truly don't want it. Would I be the asshole to request they return it and get the one I asked for and sent the link to? Edit. Some people seem to think I am being entitled, so maybe I didn't give enough information. The playpen I actually wanted is only $35 more than the one they got, which means less than $20 a person would be spent extra. And why ask for what I want if you're going to get whatever you want? I am due in 2 weeks. They had months to get me the more affordable things on my registry. When they FaceTimed me to show me the gift, they said that they liked the one they chose better because it was cute, not because of monetary reasons. Something cute over something I researched and picked out. And if I just return it without them knowing, they will be hurt when they see I don't have it in my house. Edit again. It's not about money for all the maybe they couldn't afford it, ppl. They offered me to buy a $200 present that I already had and I told them so. So they asked what specifically was left that I needed. I sent them a link to something that cost $70 below what they would have bought me had I not already had it. They just wanted to get me what they liked. Just because they liked the design more. And I can't return something to Target and pay the difference to get what I want from Amazon. That's why I can't return it myself. You are the asshole. In those situations, you return the gift yourself and pay the difference. Edit. A lot of people are asking how someone can make a return without a receipt. You're right, it depends. Policies vary by store, but many will give store credit for an item returned without a receipt, which is basically what OP would need. And if the item was purchased from a register the recipient had with the store, it's often even easier. You are the asshole. Holy crap, you sound entitled. Return the gift yourself once they give it to you if you are that pressed about it. YWBTA. Take the gift, return it and buy what you want.